Hello there, I'm Myrna Loy. So good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on which part of the world you are listening in from. Now, I decided to discuss this Serena Williams saga. I wanted to let the dust settle a little bit before I did this video, because when you kind of discuss things like this when everybody's in an uproar, it doesn't really bode well. And it seems as though everybody's trying to compete for the limelight. I'm not trying to compete for the limelight. I just want to put things into perspective. Serena lost to Naomi Osaka. And it could be because she was emotionally challenged, and the fact that she got points through misbehaviour, or because she just returned to tennis after having a baby. I don't know what the dynamics were. Apparently, Naomi Osaka won fair and square and played a brilliant game. Now, when I was kind of looking at the video shots of Serena, for me, she didn't behave as really hostile, not to the degree that people are making out like she's some kind of maniac and like she was so aggressive. Yeah, she said a few little words like, oh, you're a liar and stuff like that, but she wasn't outrageous. I mean, I've seen John McEnroe. I mean, the amount of fines he's got over the period of time I'm playing tennis is nothing compared to Serena. So I can understand when she said that if it was a man, it'd be different. Now, everybody's jumping on Serena. Well, I heard this guy, Jesse Lee. I mean, he absolutely drives me mad. I don't know why he's got so much contempt for black women. But he did an interview, and I was so disgusted by his patronisation and his cynicism when it came to her that, you know, I couldn't even watch it anymore. But I wanted to get a broad overview, a different aspect of all the people who had contributed to their viewpoint with regard to Serena before I did this video. Now, it appears that Serena was accused of taking coaching, illegal coaching, from her coach, who was in the audience. She claims she didn't see. We don't know whether she saw or not, but apparently she's responsible for her coach's behaviour. Now, I don't know why it had to come into the conversation that she had an affair with her coach and that he was married and he left his wife for her and they had this relationship going on and there's something dodgy going on between him and Serena, why he's still her coach despite her being married and despite that situation. I mean, how do we know that he might even have something up against Serena? Because if you're a coach and you know that you are not supposed to give sign language or do any kind of coaching in the Grand Slam, why would you do that? Why would you do that? She needs to really check what that coach is doing or his intentions. Because number one, that is the first reason why she was warned. Because of that, she didn't handle it right. But there again, indirectly, she was accused of cheating. She's got a daughter who's probably watching. Well, she can't watch, she's too young. But all of these things go down in history. She doesn't want to be accused of cheating in the Grand Slam. So that's why she reacted like that. And unless you're a mother, take the race away for a minute. Unless you're a mother and and you want to be a good role model, that kind of accusation is going to affect your reputation and it's going to follow your character. Because people are going to think, oh my God, she tried to cheat. So that's the first thing. The second thing, when she smashed her racket, well, that gave her a warning. So that wasn't a clever thing to do. Not quite sure why she did it. Some people say it was because her serve was interrupted. I don't know. But it wasn't a clever thing to do. And then the third, where she called the umpire a liar and a cheat for a thief for stealing her point, that's what did it for her. It cost her £17,000 for that. Now, people are calling her, saying it's her ego, she's spoilt, she's a brat. It's interesting that the fact that she's an overpaid athlete comes into the fore. And I'm telling you, from experience, black people are fine, they're okay, and they're accepted as long as they keep their mouths shut. As soon as they bring emotion or a temper into the equation, they're finished. All of a sudden, they're treated like animals and with disdain. And I don't understand why that is. I mean, that caricature that came out with her jumping up and down like a monkey, I can understand why she took offence. Because Naomi Osaka, she's a mixed race girl. She's half Asian, half Japanese. But she was shown in that caricature as a blonde woman almost. So her blackness was taken out and Serena's was accentuated. And the big lips and everything else. I mean, it wasn't a pretty sight. And I mean, I know caricatures are meant to exaggerate, but it couldn't have been any less flattering for her. So I can understand why she might have reacted to that. But people are saying, oh, she overreacted. She's calling the race card. She's calling the gender card. But when you think about all of those men who got away with shouting at the umpire, I've got them written down here somewhere. Where are they? I bet you I can't find it as usual. Oh yeah, I found it. Okay. We had the French Open. We had 2016 Nick Kyrgios. He was given a code violation for shouting at a ball boy, and he accused the umpire of extreme bias. Okay. Also, at the Australian Open this year, he shouted at the umpire about a foot fault, and he wasn't given a penalty. Then we had the Rio Olympics. We had Andy Murray. He received a code violation for calling Carlos Ramos stupid, but there was no further action. Novak Djokovic, he shouted, "You're losing your mind," for being docked at the first serve. He received a violation. Rafael Nadal was criticised Carlos for treating him like a machine after being given a warning. And at Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic accused Carlos of double standards for a code violation for smashing his racket. He had multiple warnings, but still there wasn't a point docked. And I can understand why she would say that it's because she's a woman, why she was treated like that. And you have to think about Latin America. They are very male dominated. So there might be some subliminal bias there. And they're trying to say now, oh, Joe McEnroe, he had humour. His tantrums were humorous, so it doesn't really matter that he had about 10 or 15 tantrums. But Serena's had a couple, and it's the worst crime on earth. And I understand when she said it's not fair. It's not fair. She is being treated differently. And she is supposed to be, yes, okay, tennis is a sophisticated sport and it doesn't bode well to lose your cool. But, you know, people are allowed to have emotion. They're allowed to acknowledge that emotion. And okay, it doesn't come over very well on the pitch, but bloody hell, everybody's human. She's not a superwoman like some people say. Oh, she's a superwoman. She just wanted to prove that she could go and win after she'd had a baby. It's almost like they resent the fact that she is out there trying to win even though she's had a baby. You know, I don't understand the venom And that's just it, you know. I was watching some videos about it and they're talking about it in this really smarmy way. Oh, you know, just because she's a woman and just because of this and just because of that. So patronising. And, you know, all I'm saying is that Serena Williams, yes, she is the best tennis player. And yes, she was beaten by Naomi. But it's not the issue. I think the issue number one for her was that she didn't see. We can't tell if she saw or not, but she claims she didn't see what he was doing. But that doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't matter that she wasn't in collusion with her coach. She still got a point for it. So that didn't make her happy. And then I don't know if she was losing, why she slammed her racket. Who knows? But she got another point and she lost the game. And, you know, it's not nice. And I mean, she's human though. So I don't see why she's got such a bollocking for it. It's almost like it's like they were waiting. You know, like when anybody makes a mistake, it's like they're so glad that they've got an excuse to put someone down. So that's all I'm saying. And in light of all of this, I just want to say thank you for listening. And my screen went a bit funny, hence my eyes were going all over the place. And yeah, I'll probably get a few comments on this one, but yeah, I just thought I'd put it out there. So bye for now.